the end of your workday. So that's wonderful. Now, as promised, I promised some middle of the day live streams, kind of catch up things, and fitness updates. So, plan for this live stream is going to be, we start with fitness updates or update, I guess, since it's only been a day, and looking at the trees. Waiting for some people to get in, if they would like to get in. So finally, the summer weather has hit, so that's awesome. Though on the weekend it says it's going to be another, there may be another snowstorm, so that's awesome. Anyways, now that we got some viewers in here, updates. So first update on the fitness schedule. What I've been doing is I switched over to the carnivore diet, which, you know, doing that one day has been rough, but so far that's not been the worst of it. Working out in the mornings, for me at least, and I think everybody should try this at least once or twice, even though I'm a night owl, is far the best thing ever. Because working out in the morning, especially if you have a lot to do, life can hit you hard during all day. You can have to work late at work, or you get your YouTube channel videos, you don't get that done in the morning, and that just messes up your day. And what was happening before is that started to happen, and yeah, I was just over and over again. I was like, I don't have enough time, have to get the 7 hours of sleep, blah, 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 blah. So, yep, working out in the morning, that's a beautiful way to get fit and start at it. Well, make sure you get to it every day. So that's sort of my update that I got for you guys. Now on to the politics, on to the fun stuff. So apparently Mark Carney was here in Calgary this morning, I believe it was, talking about, how we're gonna keep things green, how we're gonna increase the fuel economy and the energy economy and everything Calgary deems as important. So, from Carbon Tax Carney, of course you're gonna believe him with all that he says there. But for the start of it, I got some notes while walking. That's on a little slice of paper. I'm starting to feel like who is it? The economic ninja right now with his little piece of paper he's got going. So he was talking about how Canada is going to increase their production of biofuel and mining, and I don't know how mining helps really with our energy sector, but and stuff like that. Though, at least in the beginning, he forgot to talk about nuclear energy, which you think, by the end of his speech, I mean, and this is the one gripe I get because I work on YouTube a lot, and I kind of found this is, he said all these different forms of energy, but he forgot about nuclear energy as a green way to create electricity at the start for the first like 10 minutes of his speech. And he started mentioning it probably the last 10 minutes of his speech. And my gripe I have about that, I had to shake my head because half the people that start watching CPAC and stuff aren't going to keep on watching CPAC after the last 10 minutes, especially when it's not an interview, but sort of like an interview. Nobody's going to keep on watching that. Hey, Grim Reaper, how's it going? Sorry, I wasn't really watching my phone as much. I was watching where I was going. Yo, bro. No, I don't show my face. What are my thoughts on Trump's tariffs? Well, my thoughts on Trump's tariffs are interesting because at first I despised them with a passion. I was like, I felt kind of betrayed a little bit as Canada's a close trading partner, but so bad. Anyways, but now listening to a lot of the stories about what happened with the free trade in the States, it's they said when the free trade agreement came in, it hurt their economy. A lot of their small towns kind of dissipated. So I'm flip-flopping between whether it's good or not. At least looking at it from a U.S. perspective. From a Canadian's perspective, it's not good at all. Bid McBin, yes, I am a Canadian. Oh yeah, when American does sneeze, world does get cold, and Canada does get cold. What was that? I remember the saying one of our old prime ministers had where trading with the United States is like sleeping with an elephant. Whenever they roll over, you always get hurt. Or something along that line. But I also, also another thing about the Americans and Trump's tariffs. I watch a lot of Timcast, and he made a very, very good point where apparently in the States, a lot of Gen Zers who are like 27 now, they don't have a lot of investments. And millennials, they have some, but not that much. But mostly boomers have investments. So, at least, as he says it, sort of is now Gen Z can get into the investments at a lower rate rather than the NASDAQ at super, super high amounts. Sorry, I'm behind on all these chats. Young kid says, bro, do you really think Trudeau... I don't really know about that. Trudeau doing really, really bad things in the when he went to the G20. I cannot confirm or deny that. I'll do the political talk. From Churchill. Ooh, Churchill quote. That's always good. One of my favorite prime ministers there. You can always rely on the Americans to do the right thing after trying everything else first. That's a nice one. My favorite one from him is, if you want to, and I'm paraphrasing, if you want to know the future, just look at the past. Because that's so true. That's so true. On live here, kind of just talk, hang out with you guys. I've been seeing on a lot of my live streams that I was doing before, where I kind of game as well, and talk politics and go through a lot of the politics that I've been backed up on that a lot of people don't show up. And I like talking with other people about politics, so since that, I've been trying to do things like at different times. Sorry, I disconnected from you guys. Yeah, my camera was a blur because YouTube disconnected me for a little while. I can't wait for summer to start, so then we can start getting all the leaves and the actual beautiful, not looking like fall weather. Ben McMinn, yeah, the past says tariffs don't work and Russian agents aren't believable. Oh, half of this stuff I can't say on YouTube. Or they'll ding me. I'm just reading Ben McBin's message here. Didn't realize you're okay. Take a Russian. I'm out. Interesting. I didn't even know I took Russian money. I gotta look at my bank account again because it doesn't look like it. And I didn't notice anything for the past 40 years. That's funny. Oh, okay. That makes a little bit more sense. About that, I've seen both sides of it. For me, I'm not an American, so I've been trying to take all sides, though. Watching the I don't know how to say this. Watching the left on YouTube, or even like watching Joe Rogan on YouTube, is rough. I mean, Joe Rogan, his content's good, but his the way he speaks just puts me to sleep. No, I meant by saying listening to the left was more listening to all sides of the story, and if the Russian thing was actually a thing, if it wasn't, yada yada. Particularly, I didn't really even know that was a thing. What's Rogan got to do with Tim Pool, David Rubin, and Benny Johnson taking... See, this is half of the stuff I'm not sure about. Now, if you want to talk Rebel News, Northern Perspective, Canadian news, I know a little bit more about those podcasters than the rest. I guess I'm just skeptical because the CBC kind of did this to me. Same with Global was the use, and this is more of an analogy, and this is to your answer about the McBin, it was 100% thing, is when I was a kid, all of the CBC and all of the media, everything was 100% thing, everything was true and whatnot. And after a while, when got actually older, that started to change. And so it started to be less and less true. So that made me skeptical on different things. So I always have to take, as I said, a step back approach to everything. Let's go this way. I think we'll run into, looks like a factory that way. Okay, McMinn, who would be some good American podcasters to listen to? Because there's only a limited amount that I actually know of. Like I said, American podcasters. We'll say Aaron Clary, Tim Pool, Joe Rogan-ish. And that's about it. Any ones I can kind of tolerate. So if you have any recommendations, I'd totally be down to look into that. Hardly any. Ugh. Well, that's just unfortunate. Rebel News. Sick Uets, do you have any skills or abilities? Well, I really was hoping for the ability teleportation, but, I just wasn't born with that. Ha 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 ha. Goofy Gooner podcast. All right, I'll have to make a mental note of that. Well, I only... Oh, cool. Well, that makes sense. Ben, going to the smaller podcast or places for that. I'm not trying to suck up or anything. But the reason why the other reason why I really liked Tim Pool is I came across his old stuff way back in the day, like when he used to be part of when he didn't own his own company. What was he with? I can't remember now. But when he actually used to go places and video stuff, and that's what kind of attracted me to him, was because you actually got to see some stuff you didn't get to see from the CBC, let's just say. All the sources, and definitely rant about them, at least. I don't know if my view of things aren't always correct, but that's why I call myself Imperfect Politics, because they're always imperfect. So I think I've been going a little bit for the time being. I think I'm going to finish up my list I got of rants for Mark Carney visiting Calgary. And I guess if you guys want me to read out your chats, just, well, I'm going to shill. Just super chat, and then I'll be try to either watch for them or I'll read them out later. So after Mark Carney was in his speech was talking about all this new oil and biofuel and stuff, he started ranting about making a new part of the government where they're gonna assess how they do things and reassess pretty much everything. And which, I mean, the conservatives did kind of say they were going to do that, but from what it seemed to me, what Mark Carney was saying is they're going to pump money into a lot more people doing a lot more stuff, or possibly just doing useless stuff, just like they did with the Arrive scam scandal or the Screen Slush Fund. So I have no faith in that whatsoever. And he also didn't mention a lot about how we're going to get pipelines from east to west, like or how we're going to get the Northern Gateway pipeline put through, and how he's going to convince Quebec that a pipeline from Alberta to the Atlantic would be a good thing. So that's definitely an issue, and he was asked a question about that too. So, and the issue with that is we have most of our pipelines going to the United States and then coming back to Canada. So I can tell you, it's not going to look good there. And I'll go on this with going through some of the chats and Ender. Legal deportations are terrible, and tariffs were insane. Well, and tariffs are going to get even more insane, because I think today, from what I saw on the news, they said it's going to be, or Trump wanted to tariff China 104%. I've never heard of something like that before. I think yesterday was bad. At what was it? 54%? I think he was going to tariff them 54%, and then China was like, well, we'll tariff you 84, and then those two tariffing them each other is getting nuts. And I can tell you, for people on medication, it's going to get rough. It's going to get very, very rough. So for somebody who does take medication, or from somebody who does take medication, buy it in bulk now, I think. Because I think what's going to happen, at least with that stuff, and that stuff you need, not want, since I think in America, I think even they get it all from China as well. So yeah, buy it in bulk while you still can, for the price it's at right now. Because if these tariffs, 105%, go through, you're going to be screwed. People are just going to be done. And I think that's my big worry about things. Is industry, okay, people's jobs, yes, bringing them back to the United States, that's important, but people can't survive without medication. And the US definitely screwed up with that, but even us in Canada, we definitely screwed up with that. Anyways, well, those are all my talking points. I was going to go through ranting about everything. I appreciate all the chats, and thank you everybody for recommending some things to me. The Drag. I'll read off some of these chats before I leave. The Drag. You'll never bring manufacturing back to the US. You can't compete financially. It's a pipe dream. Well, I hope that's not true. I may be an optimist. Even though I'm not in the US, I'm an optimist, and hopefully at least we can bring us, or they can bring some things back to the US. But like I said, for medication, I can't see that coming back to the US. I just can't see it. I can't see it for Canada. We don't have enough factories here, and even if we do, it all just gets stolen. So that's always fun. Anywho, it was nice talking to you guys. I'll try to put out a video later today. And if you want to talk politics and watch some gaming, I'll have a game night on Friday at 8 o'clock and Saturday at 8 o'clock as well. Join me there. It'll be a fun time. And other than that, have a great day, guys.